This is a 2026 reading for my Leos. Wow. Your girl's a Leo. That's why I felt like I could do that. But this is for my Leos. This is for my Leo risings. What kind of 2026 are we having? Hey everyone, I'm Molly. I've been a practicing psychic since fourth grade, which is over 25 years ago. This is your daily dose of magic, a reading for the Leos. So first up, I'm feeling this big energy shift under the rib cage. It just feels like a big expansion, especially my Leo risings. My Leo risings, it feels like a lot of you are starting to step into this next level tier of, it's almost like fun babysitter vibe. It's like fun babysitter vibe of, I'm going to hold you accountable, but we're going to have fun while I hold you accountable. I'm going to make sure that you don't create chaos, but we're going to have fun. We don't need chaos to not have fun. And it feels like my Leos in general, they're breaking through that energy of starting to recognize who genuinely deserves their energy versus who is not ready for it yet. Keyword, who is not ready for it yet? What a Leo thing. They're just not ready for it yet. They don't know how to value it. It just feels like a lot of roar. My the back of my mouth is actually really sore. And so it just feels like you've tried to explain yourself, you've tried to over explain yourself. And now it's really truly about this energy of starting to recognize sometimes it's not about communicating with words. We can communicate in so many other ways other than words. It's really truly about putting what you're trying to communicate into something, putting it into something that you're creating for yourself, moving that energy that you're feeling rather than trying to sit in it and move in a circle in it. We don't need to over explain right now. The energy of being at a crossroads is really just you battling yourself with, does this make sense? You battling yourself with, maybe if I explain it to them this way, it would make a lot more sense. I feel like a lot of Leo energy has people pleasing tendencies because they want to keep all the cubs together. They want the family to come together. But a healed Leo really is in the energy of understanding that it's about accountability. Like all the cubs are only having as much fun as like the cub who's creating the most chaos. We got to hold them accountable. We want to make sure it's like a safe space for everyone. That's really stepping into Leo energy and really fully being grounded in that fire of creativity. It's not about scolding people and putting them in timeout. It's about figuring out everyone receives information differently, and also everyone is at a different spot of how much love they can receive versus how much love they know how to give. And so a lot of Leo energy is leading by example. It's not supposed to be explaining. It's leading by example. What I show you is also going to match my words. The way that I represent myself is going to be authentic to who I am as a person. I'm not going to bend depending on who's in the room. I'm going to make sure everyone holds respect for each other, because as long as we hold respect for each other, everyone's going to have a great time. Doesn't mean you all have to hang out, but respecting each other. That's really this Leo energy that's coming through. It's almost feeling like standing very strong. It does not feel like you have a crown on. I know that's going to sound silly. It does not feel like you have a crown on. It feels like you have the crown in the other room and you have the crown, but you're like, I don't need to wear it right now because I want everyone to see that I'm coming from the correct place. We all got to see each other as equals before I'm going to put my crown back on. And what a funny energy. We've got to all be seen as equals before, you went through a lot of healing, and because you've gone through a lot of healing, you felt, and it's not even just that you've gone through healing. It feels like there's like disappointments because other people haven't healed, disappointments because other people didn't come with you on your journey, disappointments because other people didn't understand what you were trying to offer them. It's not about offering words anymore. We're really moving into this 2026 year of moving more into energy. Show them energetically, lead by example energetically, be the softness that other people cannot be in the face of fire. And like, as a Leo, fire is absolutely beautiful. Like, I mean, what Leo isn't a little bit of a pyro? But Leo, fire is beautiful when it's contained. When fire goes all over, it's the same thing with all the other zodiac signs. Water will flood you. Too much water can hurt, you know? It's a little bit of everything, but it's like containing your fire, understanding where it's coming from, understanding the emotions behind it, understanding the story behind it is going to allow you to react a little bit differently. It's going to allow you to understand why that person's not changing, like what internal battle that person's going through. Understanding them on a deeper level is understanding that that person's not capable of what you're asking them for right now. They can't hear what you're trying to say to them right now. So lead by example. Show them the way. Show them the way. You're literally the sun. You're literally the sun. You know, like you'll speak up when you need to speak up, and you'll tell people to knock it off when they need to knock it off. But getting them to change, getting them to grow, they can come back around when they're responsible for your energy, or they can't have it right now. You know, it's about you protecting your space. It's about you understanding you're the one who decides to what level you need to be respected, you know. And it hurts because sometimes you want to be a little bit more respected than what people are capable of giving you, which is why leading by example, you know, allowing them to take whatever space they need to take, but then allowing them to come back, but holding them to these are the rules of the house. After you come in the house, that's it. But, you know, rather than pushing them, it's not about pushing them. It's really funny too, because it just feels like, you know, like a Leo only roars when they really truly need to roar. That's where the respect comes from. That's why you don't have to wear the crown, because you're wearing the crown just by showing the energy of who you are. You're wearing the crown by just demonstrating where you've come from. You've gone through it all. You've gone through the emotions. You've gone from not setting healthy boundaries. You've gone from, you know, protecting narcissistic people. You know, Leos have a really big thing with family and bonds and relationships. It's really hard for them to separate from relationships, but that's what it is. You learned previously. You learned what it felt like when you didn't trust yourself. You learned what it felt like when you let the wrong people in. You learned what it felt like when you didn't have a safe space to express your feelings. That's why everything is closing this chapter right now. This is where the growth is coming from, because you're starting to recognize all of these things that you've been through. They came from childhood. They came from what you dealt with in childhood. They came from the dynamics that you learned. You know, you're starting a whole brand new beginning in 2026, but the closing of the chapter, feeling sorrow for having to stand up for yourself, feeling sorrow for having to advocate for yourself, feeling sorrow that other people weren't learning their lessons and you had to walk away for a little bit. That's what's holding you back right now. That's what's holding you back. Holding people accountable sometimes is putting space in between you and that other person so that you can continue on your path. And I feel like at the same time too, I feel like put the crown on. If you earned it, you earned it. You know, like this reading clearly is not for Leos who are in their ego. This reading is for the Leos who are really truly in their Empress energy and their motherly energy. That doesn't mean feminine. It doesn't mean feminine, it's just the words for it. But it's in that soft empathic era, in that soft era of feeling the energy of the situation, feeling the deeper energy behind everything. It really just feels like Leo is the king and queen or the leader of the jungle, because they understand that everyone in the jungle is going through something, and they're starting to offer the safe space for everyone to come together regardless of what kind of animal they are. We can all drink from the same water fountain because we all know we're thirsty when we want to drink from the water fountain, and we can all come together in this. But you know what? When I got to be a lion, I'm going to be a lion. But this is the safe zone. This is the safe zone, you know? I'm letting you know my boundaries now. I'm letting you know what it is. And put the crown back on. Put the crown back on. You got these new beginnings coming in. Wear the crown, because the reason that you can wear the crown is because you know how to have the real conversations with the real ones. The real conversations with the real ones. You know how to ask people questions that are on a deeper level to get them to start thinking about who they are as a person. That's why you get to wear the crown, because that sunshine radiates. You pull out repressed emotions from other people because you say, why don't we just bring it to the light already? This is the safe space. Bringing it up is safer than repressing it. Oh, just feels like the Leo energy really is moving into more of the healing of the fire signs. It really truly is. So you should be very proud of yourself, my friends. I love you. Keep going.